Welcome to the JayGravesReport College Football Weekly Wrap-Up, Week 14. Y'all know how we get it in, so let's get it in. Wrapping up the top 5 ball games of the weekend, so let's get right to it. Now, this weekend was rivalry weekend. That means that all the drama, all the foolishness, and all the chaos can get put on the table, bruh. It's permissible this weekend to have drama. Now, so let's move on to the first ball game. Let's go down to the Pac-12. We got number 22. UCLA goes across town to play the number 23 USC Trojans. Now, I picked the USC Trojans to win this ball game because Ed Orgeron had these boys rolling. They came into this game 6-1. Matter of fact, they were on a 6-game winning streak coming in. But the UCLA Bruins didn't pay no mind, boy. They came in and beat the brakes off these boys 35-14. Brett Hundley was just efficient. Put up 209 yards, 2 touchdowns, and went to the crib. This is the first time since 1997 that UCLA has won at the Coliseum, bruh. Now, this is only the 3rd time in 15 years that they've even won. So you got to give mad props to Jim Moore Jr. and company. They got UCLA back on the map. They rolling again. They're reputable. You got to give the job to Ed Orgeron at USC. Why? Because he's ignited the fan base, he got the recruits on his side, and he got the players on his side, bruh. Don't listen to the doggone dumb media run out there and tell you that you got to make a splash and go out and get a big name guy. You know, you just hire the done that's doing the job now because he's right for USC. Let's move on to the next ball game. Let's go down to the ACC where number 6 Clemson showed up to Williams-Brice Stadium to play the number 10 South Carolina Gamecocks. Now, I picked Clemson to win this ball game simply because Clemson came into this game averaging 42 points a game, put more than 515 yards of total offense up. Taj Boyd putting up crazy numbers, had over 3,000 yards in the air, another 29 touchdowns. But he was dull this weekend. They couldn't keep him on his feet. They was there, turned the ball over 6 times in this ball game, 4 times in the 4th quarter. You cannot win ball games, turn it over. Now, I got to give Connor Shaw mad props for South Carolina. He ends his career at South Carolina with a 17-0 record at the crib. He's 26-5 overall, bruh. And old Doug Todd's boy is 0-4 against South Carolina. How in the world do you end your career against your heated rival 0-4? Duh! Let's move on to the next ball game. Let's go down to the Sunshine State, where we got number 2, Florida State, showing up in the swamp to play the Florida Gators. Now, with all the distractions that famous James got in front of him, he still went out there and went to work, beat these boys 37-7, put up 327 yards and 4 touchdowns on these duns. I mean, it makes no sense. He threw 3 touchdowns to Calvin Benjamin that was just throwing boys out like he was a old man playing with toddlers. I mean, just throwing DBs all over the place. Hey, now, let's keep this real or all the way 100, whichever comes first. Florida needs to go ahead and change the name of the swamp to the kiddie pool until they start winning again, bruh. These guys are 4-8. This is the worst record, the worst season they've had since 1979. So in that regard, we're going to change the name from the Florida Gators to the Florida Lizards. Let's move on to the next ball game. Now, let's go up to the Big Ten, where we had number 3, Ohio State, showing up in Ann Arbor to play the Michigan Wolverines. Throw the records out the window. Throw the rankings out the window. Throw the fact that Ohio State was undefeated. Throw it all out the window because it's the game. It's one of the biggest rivalry games in the world. Ohio State, Michigan. Now, Ohio State got out of there, barely got out of their line, 42-41, but you got to give mad props to Brady Hope for going for it at the goal line to try to, you know, that he could have kicked the doggone extra point, went in overtime, but what was that going to prove? Win the ball game while you can because you got nothing to lose. You may as well. If you go into overtime, you probably was going to lose it. So I got to give him mad props for doing that. And all these duns out here in the media trying to dog Ohio State because they barely got out of the line. It was a rivalry game, bruh. You can throw the doggone, throw all that out the window. They won the ball game, and it's darn near impossible to go 24-0. So don't try to sell me the foolishness that they shouldn't be in the running for the national championship because they barely got out of their lives. Let's move on to the next ball game. Let's go to the big ball game. We got number 1, Alabama. Went down to old Don Toomer's corner to Jordan Air Stadium and got beat on a 109-yard return off a dumb missed field goal. Now, Auburn wins this ball game 34-28. I've been telling you boys that Auburn was going to beat these duds in the Iron Bowl, but nobody was listening to me. Jay Graves sounded like the Wizard of Oz right now because I told you I picked the Baylor that was going down against Oklahoma State. Told you that. I told you that Oregon was going down against Stanford, and I told you that these duns was going down against Auburn. Because quit listening to all these duns in the media telling you it's going to be 4 or 5 cats standing at the end of the season undefeated, and the BCS was going to fall apart and die. Every year it gets it right because you end up with 2 duns. Now you got all these cats in the media trying their best to tell you that a 1-loss SEC team should get in before undefeated Ohio State. Now, Ohio State got to take care of business this weekend. They got to beat Michigan State, and then it's all good. But don't listen to these duns out here trying to tell you all this foolishness. It's your man Jay Graves Report from the JayGravesReport.com, or you can hit me up on Twitter at JayGravesReport so you can holler at your